Welcome to Growing Bremerton Together with Mayor Patty Lent. We're on location today, and it's at the Bremerton Food Bank on the corner of 12th and I, right across from Bremerton High School. My special guest is Patty Peterson, and we have a special treat during our break. We're going to have some film from the rededication of the Unknown Soldier. Stay with us. Welcome to Growing Bremerton Together with Mayor Patty Lent. We're on location today at a warehouse, and it's the home and the office, you might say, of Patty Peterson, Executive Director of Bremerton Foodline. Patty, what a joy for you to open up the warehouse for us. I do see that it's not filled, so we're going to talk about that to our audience. But first, let's talk about a little about you. How did you get involved with the food line itself?
Well, I was employed at the shipyard as a test engineer and conducted several food drives. And on one food drive, I was delivering the food to Hoyt Burroughs when the Bremerton Foodline used to be down by Evergreen Park. And I made the mistake of saying, what else can I do to help you help the people in Bremerton? And he slid a copy of a board application across his desk to me, and I was hooked. And so I put about 12 years in as a board member or volunteer. And then when I retired from the shipyard, I had more time, and we had the executive director position come open, and I had all that experience from the board of directors and volunteering, put my name in the hat, and they chose me to continue.
How exciting. But you didn't grow up here.
No, I did not. I am an Army brat, which gives me a very unique perspective about the people here in a military community where the emphasis is strong, but as well gives me an opportunity to compare my experiences as a child all over the world to those of the people here in Bremerton. So, Army brat.
But I think it's a nice mix. First of all, we have so many transient. We have the Navy that comes in. They're here on base for a couple of years, and then so they infiltrate within the community. And we have all kinds of populations. You know, we share the earth with everyone. The ones that are here requiring the services of the food line and the food bank weren't always in need. So you're seeing some new people that didn't used to have to come and get recyclable.
It is true that we're all seeing more people at the food banks. The changes within the coalition of Kitsap County food banks is showing up as the people who came before having to return more than once a year. New people who are newly, maybe their hours have been cut, maybe they've lost their job and the business has gone under, maybe they've had a medical bill and suddenly what was a very, very tight budget is now non-existence for food. So those people are becoming our new clients. Many days we have here at the food bank 8 to 12 new households. Some of those households may have as many as 9 or 10 people in them that are new to us. We keep really careful track of that. I know that in conversations with other food bank directors here in Kitsap County, the same thing is happening. And at that time, our donations have dropped off because the same people who used to be our donors and help their fellow community members are unable to do so. So it places us in a tough spot, but we're working on several solutions for that.
I understand. Let's talk about some of the programs that help you fill this warehouse.
Absolutely.
And one is the post office. They do a food drive.
Postal Food Drive, or Help Stamp Out Hunger, is held every May, the first part of the month, right around Mother's Day. And the postal food workers and the local have been kind enough to take on additional work for the community in picking up bags that are distributed through United Way that they take out, and they bring back those bags of food. This year, our overall total was down 32% for the entire county, in some areas as much as 43%, but still a wonderfully successful time when we don't get a lot of other donations, when we're all struggling with that spring budget, the grants haven't come in yet, that kind of thing. So very successful springtime food drive that allows every postal patron in Kitsap County to give back to the community.
That's great. give me an idea, or give our audience an idea of another program that, again, is assisting us in feeding those in need.
Okay, so a routine assistance comes from Food Lifeline, which is a subsidiary of Feeding America, and Northwest Harvest, which serves those people here in Kitsap County and the rest of the state, all the way over to Spokane. Those are contracted partner programs. We have to qualify for them. We have to provide certain standards. In addition to that, this year we were very fortunate, and I know you were there to share with us, that we received 1,200 families worth of food and personal care products from Feed the Children. They brought up 3 great big trucks. They were pulled out here to our next parking lot, and people drove through and walked through and received wonderful gifts. This was an extraordinary assistance program and involved literally tens of thousands of pounds of food and personal care items, and some wonderful little gifts for children that we've set aside for Christmas, new little shoes and,
exciting.
and all kinds of good stuff. So a great partner program that comes from throughout the United States as opposed to locally.
And not only did they have this surprise gift, but we had wonderful volunteers that day. Were some of the Navies from the shipyard, or for one of our like the USS Ronald Reagan?
Correct. There were volunteers from the Naval Hospital, Naval Base Kitsap, the Ronald Reagan, our typical volunteers that we have here at Bremerton Foodline. We had volunteers come over from South Kitsap Helpline, Central Kitsap, St. Vincent de Paul, and I believe that we had some volunteers here from a couple of the other food banks.
That's great. That's exciting for us to have these treats. Now we've got some programs
Excuse me.
coming up that, well, one is a repeat. I see the box, Send Hunger Packing.
Yes, this is Send Hunger Packing for all the members of the community. You know how it works with the Postal Food Drive in the spring. This is your opportunity to help everyone in the community with food in the fall period. Send Hunger Packing is being coordinated by a group of volunteers coming from the business community, including Kitsap Credit Union, the Red Cross, and many others. It will start in November. They will have a website, they will have advertising. The box is, empty right now, but we hope it'll come back full and ready to serve to families in this season.
Now I know that the city of Bremerton has one of these boxes. So where else can people find these boxes?
If a business wants to participate, there's actually a flyer. It is available by contacting me here at the Bremerton Foodline, by contacting the Red Cross. You can check in on our website. It'll be posted up there. Also, other food banks are going to act as a hub in their area, so you can donate locally to where your food bank serves and where you live. They will accept this food. We're going to keep track of the pounds so we can compare it to previous years, because this is not the first year that the community has come together to help your food banks during the holiday season.
I love this community. I've just learned that in another jurisdiction, they had, in fact, Bainbridge Island, in August, they had up to 400 people that had come to their food bank. And that was unusual. What is a typical week or month that we participate in providing food to families?
Here at Bremerton Foodline, our typical month, around the average, is about 1,500 or more families, keeping in mind that there are 3 food banks here in Bremerton, St. Vincent de Paul, Salvation Army, and the Bremerton Foodline. We have a family count that's well over 2,000 per month. We had our record daily intake in the middle of September. We had 122 families served between 10 o'clock and 1:45. That's extraordinary for us, extraordinary. If you projected that on and looked ahead at what's going to come to us later in the year, I really feel like we're probably going to have a 10 to 15% increase. But we won't know until we get to the end of the year and we look back. We do keep data, all of us do, especially the partners with Food Lifeline. So we'll be able to tell each member of the community if they have a question about how many we've served, about what we've given and where their good money has gone to that comes to us.
Oftentimes, grant funding that comes in is they want to take and have statistics so that there is a record and they know where the vulnerable populations are and where that need lies. Besides Send Hunger Packing, we have another program that's kind of exciting, first time, and you'll be seeing some of this on the screen, but could you describe a little bit about our Sunday Hunger Walk?
Yes, Sunday, November 11th is part of Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week by the Interfaith Network here in Kitsap County. We're going to have a walk beginning up across from Star of the Sea. It will go down to the Norm Dick Center. The Bremerton Foodline truck will be there. There will be a couple other food executive director people there speaking. Mayor Lint is invited. We're inviting the public to come and contribute food. We will have a truck, so you don't have to carry it the whole way if you walk. We're inviting other churches. We're inviting the businesses to participate. This is to focus everyone on the problem of hunger in our city and let you know that we are addressing it with your help.
Now we've got some cautionary things. People wonder, where does the food come from? Besides donors, like myself, if I bring canned goods. So you get things that are from grocery stores. They might be date sensitive, and yet they're still good and can be used. How does a person check to see if there might be a cautionary concern? I know there's been in the news, and I'll use peanut butter. There's been in the news that there's been a recall on some peanut butter. Can you tell us how we can feel safe about getting peanut butter at a food bank or a grocery store?
Sure, and everyone should be checking. If you have access to your local Kitsap County Health Department website, they have an item right on their main page that says food recalls. You should look at that, and you should look at the extensive recall of peanut butter prepared in the Sunland plant in the Southwest. I say that because the product is contaminated with salmonella, and products have been recalled back as far as 2010 for that company. That information is available from your Kitsap County Public Health Department if you have any questions. Anyone that's gone to the food bank knows that we use grocery rescued products. This means that at your grocery store, when something is near a pull date, we're going to get that here from our partners, or the other food banks will receive those products. We keep very strict control of that. Food Lifeline provides us guidelines. The state provides us guidelines of how we can reuse rescued products. The point being that none of us wants to have waste in our community. Americans are very fortunate, but in the United States we are also somewhat wasteful. And so this is a way that the grocery stores and businesses can help us, but we are vigilant about that. If you ever, as a food bank recipient or a donor, want to know about a specific product, contact the health department, contact your local food bank and say, gee, I've got this jar of peanut butter. Is it safe? Because we do have the latest information available, and we have contact numbers. I have already called about 3 products that weren't on the list just to check with the Sunland people, with the Department of Health, and it's been very useful.
Thanks, Patty. I know we want health and safety is the first item of business for the city and for our food banks. We're going to take a short break before we come back and talk about types of food you can get at the food bank. But during our break, stay tuned, because we're going to show you some snippets and some of the video of the rededication of our Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers.
I am simply up here to say that as the post commander, or past post commander of VFW Post 239, we at the VFW thank all of you for your valiant effort to honor our comrades and sisters. This change that you see here that's taken place since we had the last Memorial Day, of which I was the host of, if you will, has really made us proud to be veterans of foreign wars and members of the city of Bremerton. I speak for all past presidents, commanders, and obviously the present commander of VFW Post 239 when I say thank you for being a veteran, and thank all of you who've made this beautiful cemetery possible.
Welcome back to Growing Bremerton Together. I'm on location in the warehouse of the Bremerton Foodline, and Patty Peterson, their executive director, is with me. So we've been talking about the food line. We're going to talk about the building itself and the hours that you can collect food or that you can distribute or donate. So this building has been recycled.
Absolutely. This building was acquired through a grant from the Community Development Block Grant Program. The city and the county provided funding for us in 2001. We were in a building in which we had to bring everything through a door that was 36 inches wide, and it was about as big as this corner of my warehouse. At the time, this was owned by the Heater family, and they had had a carpeting business. They had a taekwondo, martial arts school. Harrison Hospital rented part of it for storage, and the front was a snack time vendor. When we took over the building, we relocated Pregnancy Resources into a new building as a part of the grant program. We relocated the Twin Tigers Martial Arts. Harrison Hospital could stay, and so could Snack Time Vending, but as they gradually pulled away with changes in technology, changes in business, we've acquired the whole facility. Because of that, it is a distribution warehouse for all the food banks in Kitsap County, as well as TFAC commodities agencies like food banks and assistance agencies. We also receive food here from Northwest Harvest and Food Lifeline for agencies that are their contracted partners. Right now we're able to do that without charging because of the good work of volunteers who are here every day helping us out with getting it going. But
how many volunteers do you have, Patty?
in an average month, we've dropped from about 120 to 89 to 92, and I keep that statistic as well in our database. But we get great opportunities because people like John C. Stennis Command, like the Naval Hospital, like the Kiwanis Lions, and so many more come down and volunteer. Right now we get volunteers from the high school right across the street. This was one of the big reasons why we chose to have this building. It was on the bus lines for people who don't have transportation, and it was near the college and the high school, so we could share with the community, with the youth in our community, the need to grow together with people who have less.
You know, I'm talking about the canned goods that I see throughout the warehouse. Nutrition is something that everyone's focused on. How is the food line and the food bank distributing and talking to people about nutrition?
We use a shopping model here, which is different than just checking in and getting a box of food given to you. And that means that you can shop from various categories for your size of family. So you have a grocery cart that's been graciously given by our grocery partners, and you go along with your list and you can take that. That being said, many clients prefer canned food, especially if they're in a car or in a homeless situation where they're moving from couch to couch. They don't have facilities to cook well. However, the emphasis at all food banks in Washington is higher levels of nutrition. So we're trying to improve that through offering more fruits and vegetables in our lobby every day. That includes potatoes, onions, most often includes fruit. Apples, pears are currently out there right now. We also provide salads from those grocery rescue, and we get wonderful donations from local farmers and our pea patch gardeners. We've had a partnership for 3 years with the pea patch gardeners at Blueberry Patch, and just yesterday we got 18 pounds of food. That doesn't sound like much, but when you combine it with our raised beds where we grow food outside, we're getting 50 to 75 pounds of produce we couldn't afford.
That's amazing, and it's good for all the citizens that are there. I know that you really have a heart for what you're doing and how we're progressing with the things that happen. How can the people that want to donate food, what hours are you open?
Okay, we are open here at this food bank from 10 until 1:45. Our donor period is from 9 until 2 o'clock. But you can call and get a special appointment if you'd like to make a donation or to volunteer at a special event time. We just have to schedule a staff person to be here in the building with you. For clients who haven't got access to our website, bremertonfoodline.org, you can come here between 10 o'clock and 1:45. We ask you to come by 1:30 because we want to get you through and give you an adequate amount of time to shop for food. We are on the bus line provided by Kitsap Transit. We're handy for you. We will try to help you as much as possible to get the food you need on an emergency basis. And any day, the public is welcome to come by and find out what we're all about, and clients are welcome to come here and ask.
And you'll see the address, the website, and the phone number for contacts for our Bremerton Foodline. Patty, it's been delightful to talk with you. If you are listening, if you are going to take and pass on the message about this particular show, this is the season that we're entering into for Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's a time when there is a great need to fill all of this warehouse so that we can accommodate those in need. Again, Patty, thank you for joining us today. Join us next time with Growing Bremerton Together and Mayor Patty Lent.